You felt it since you were a child, a heavy, lingering sense that you were standing on the outside of a glass wall, looking into a world that spoke a language you couldn't quite translate. While others were content with the surface, you were always searching for the depth. While others found comfort in the noise, you found your sanctuary in the silence. This is not a coincidence. This is not a flaw in your design. You are beginning to realize that the reason you never fit in is because you were never meant to. You were never ordinary. Right now, as you listen to my voice, your body is carrying a weight that doesn't belong to you. Your shoulders feel tight, as if you are bracing for a storm that has been brewing for lifetimes. You've been experiencing those sudden, sharp headaches that come out of nowhere. The ones that feel like a high-pitched frequency ringing in your ears, making you want to retreat into a dark room and just be. You feel a strange pressure behind your eyes, a pulsing that tells you your vision is changing. You aren't seeing the world the same way anymore. The colors look different. The people look different. The very air feels thicker, charged with an electricity that no one else seems to notice. You wake up between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., your heart racing, your mind wide awake while the rest of the world sleeps in a deep programmed slumber. You sit there in the darkness, feeling a presence in the room, a calling that pulls at your soul. You feel lonely even when you are surrounded by people. You sit at dinner tables listening to the hollow chatter, the gossip, the endless pursuit of things that do not matter, and you feel a scream building up in your chest, a scream that asks, "Is this all there is?" Your physical vessel is reacting to a shift you cannot see. You find yourself suddenly exhausted, unable to move, needing to sleep for 10 hours just to feel human, only to wake up and feel like you've been running a marathon in your dreams. Your stomach is sensitive. You can no longer eat the things you used to. Your body is rejecting the toxins, the low vibration fuels, and the heavy energies of the world. It's as if your system is being purged, forced to let go of everything that isn't aligned with the truth of who you are. The betrayal you've experienced recently wasn't just bad luck. That person who walked away, that friend who turned into a stranger, that family member who looks at you with cold, unrecognizing eyes. They are reacting to the light that is starting to leak out of your pores. You've been feeling a profound sense of isolation, a divine pruning, where the universe is stripping away every crutch and every false connection you've ever relied on. It feels like abandonment. It feels like a cold, biting winter in your soul. But what you are feeling is the clearing of the path. You are tired of being the strong one. You are tired of being the one who understands everyone, while no one understands you. You've been carrying the emotional debt of your entire bloodline, feeling the grief of ancestors you never met, and the anxiety of a future that hasn't arrived. You feel like a stranger in your own skin, waiting for a signal, waiting for a home that doesn't exist on any map. This restlessness is the signature of the chosen. It is the friction of a celestial being trying to fit into a terrestrial mold. You were never ordinary, and the pain you feel right now is the breaking of the shell. The world is trying to keep you small, but your spirit is outgrowing the cage. The reason you are feeling this friction, the reason your life feels like an uphill battle against an invisible wind, is because you are moving against the current of a world built on illusions. You must understand the spiritual mechanics of your existence. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a high-frequency consciousness that has been compressed into a physical form to act as a disruptor. The why behind your suffering is not punishment, it is calibration. In the spiritual realms, there is a hierarchy of light, and you have been placed at the apex. Because your vibration is naturally higher than the environment you were born into, you act as a literal spotlight. When you walk into a room, you aren't just a person entering a space, you are a massive surge of energy hitting a stagnant pool. This is why people react to you so strangely. This is why you are often met with unprovoked hostility or sudden, irrational discomfort from others. Your very presence forces the darkness in them to rise to the surface. You are a mirror reflecting back the shadows they have spent lifetimes trying to hide. You have been operating under the weight of a divine rule that you didn't even know was in place. This rule states that because you are a chosen one, you are held to a much higher standard than the masses. Have you noticed that when others do wrong, they seem to get away with it? They lie, they cheat, they manipulate, and their lives seem to flourish. But the moment you even think about stepping out of alignment, the moment you try to lower your standards or act out of spite, the universe shuts the door in your face immediately. You are corrected instantly. This is because your soul agreed to a contract of absolute purity. You are being refined in the fire because you are meant to carry the weight of the new world. You cannot have any cracks in your foundation. The spiritual cause of your current exhaustion is a process called DNA recoding. You are literally being rewritten from the inside out. The heavy, carbon-based energy of your past is being converted into a crystalline light body. This is why your bones ache. This is why you feel a literal buzzing in your nervous system. You are being upgraded to handle the higher frequencies that are now hitting the planet. If you stayed the way you were, you would shatter under the intensity of the light that is coming. The universe is stretching your capacity to hold power. Furthermore, you are currently involved in a kalos, or a divine separation. The spiritual reason you are being isolated is that you are in a cocoon phase. If the world touched you right now, it would contaminate the transformation. You are being hidden away by the Creator. Think of a seed planted in the dark, cold earth. It feels like burial. It feels like death. But from the perspective of the divine, it is the only way to ensure the growth of the harvest. You were removed from certain circles because those people were energy vampires who were feeding off your light, preventing you from having enough fuel for your own evolution. You are a bridge between dimensions. You are here to anchor the frequency of the divine into the density of the earth. This is a heavy assignment. You are essentially a lightning rod. When the collective energy of humanity becomes too toxic, it is people like you who absorb, transmute, and ground that energy back into the soil. You have been doing this unconsciously for years, which is why you always felt drained after being in crowds. But now, the universe is calling you to do it consciously. You are being taught to stand in your power without giving your light away. You are learning that your otherness is your greatest weapon. You were never ordinary because you were designed to be a leader of a revolution that doesn't use guns or banners, but frequency and truth. You are the architect of a new reality, and the old one must crumble around you for you to see the blueprint. Do you see how they look at you? Have you noticed the way the room shifts when you walk in? There's a specific kind of silence that follows a chosen one, a heavy, expectant hush. The people around you, those still plugged into the matrix, those who live for the approval of the crowd and the safety of the status quo, are terrified of you. They don't hate you for your flaws. They hate you for your light. They are reacting to the fact that they can no longer find a hook into your soul. They can no longer find a way to manipulate your frequency, and that makes you the greatest threat to their simulated reality. The narcissists, the energy parasites, and the sentinels of the system are currently in a state of panic. They can feel that you are no longer playing the game. For years, they used your empathy against you. They used your kindness as a weakness, a source of free energy they could tap into whenever their own internal wells ran dry. But something has changed. You've stopped seeking their validation. You've stopped explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. And because you have withdrawn your energy, their world is beginning to destabilize. Look closely at the enemy in your life right now. Notice how their attacks have become more desperate, more erratic. They are trying to gaslight you back into the old version of yourself. They are throwing old mistakes in your face, trying to trigger the shame that used to keep you small. Why? Because as long as you are distracted by guilt, you aren't looking at your own power. They are terrified because they know that once a chosen one realizes who they actually are, the hierarchy of the matrix flips. The servant becomes the master, the victim becomes the victor. You have a power over them that you are only beginning to understand. It is the power of the unmoved observer. When they try to provoke you and you meet their chaos with a cold, divine silence, you are literally dismantling their energetic structure. They feed on your reaction. They need your anger, your tears, or your defense to feel real. When you deny them that reaction, they begin to wither. They are like ghosts trying to haunt a house where the owner has suddenly turned on all the lights. They have no place to hide. The matrix reacts to you like a foreign body in an organism. It tries to surround you, to calcify you, to isolate you. But what the system doesn't realize is that by isolating you, it has actually given you the space to build your own kingdom. They thought they were punishing you by leaving you out, but they were actually protecting your vibration from their own decay. They are scared because you are unpredictable. You don't follow the scripts of fear. You don't bow to the idols of fame, money, or social standing. You are looking for something eternal, and they have no control over the eternal. This is why the smear campaign started. This is why they whispered behind your back, trying to turn others against you. It was a preemptive strike. They knew that if your influence grew, their illusions would shatter. But notice how those rumors no longer sting the way they used to. Notice how you feel a strange sense of pity for them now. You see them as they truly are, prisoners of a dying system, desperately clinging to the bars of their own cages. You have the keys, and the fact that you aren't using those keys to beg for their entry is what haunts them at night. You are the glitch in their software. You are the anomaly that proves the system is a lie. Your power over them is absolute because you no longer need anything they have to offer. You are self-contained, divine, and sovereign. Deep within the fabric of your existence lies a blueprint that was drafted before the foundations of this world were laid. You must understand the metaphysical reality of your life. You are a living prophecy. The struggles you have endured are not random acts of cruelty by a chaotic universe. They are the specific, calculated movements of a divine hand, carving a masterpiece out of raw stone. There is a cosmic law, the law of polarity, which dictates that the greater the darkness you have faced, the more immense the light you are destined to carry. You have been walking through a valley of shadows not because you were lost, but because you are being seasoned for a throne. The truth that the world tries to hide from you is that you are a sovereign fractal of the Creator. In the high-level theological structures of the universe, you are what is known as a first fruit. You are the pioneer of a new species of human. While the majority of the world is still operating on a 3D consciousness of survival, fear, and competition, you have been forcefully upgraded to a 5D frequency of unity, intuition, and creation. This is the God's plan that people speak of, but rarely understand. It is not a plan for you to have a comfortable, mediocre life. It is a plan for you to be a beacon of the Great Awakening. The universe operates on the law of resonance. For years, you tried to resonate with people and places that were below your frequency, and the result was total disharmony. You felt sick, you felt drained, and you felt wrong. Now the truth is revealing itself. You are being tuned to the frequency of the divine mind. This is why you are suddenly receiving downloads, ideas, visions, and deep knowings that seem to come from outside of yourself. These are the instructions for your specific mission. You are here to collapse old timelines. Every time you choose forgiveness over revenge, every time you choose truth over a comfortable lie, you are literally deleting a dark timeline for yourself and your entire ancestral line. This is the prophecy of your life. You are the one who breaks the cycle. You are the one who ends the generational poverty, the generational trauma, and the generational silence. You were chosen because you were the only soul in your lineage strong enough to look at the demons of your family and say, "No further. This ends with me." The universe saw your strength lifetimes ago. It saw your resilience in the face of betrayal and your capacity to love even when you were given every reason to hate. That is why you were given the black sheep mantle. In the kingdom of heaven, the black sheep is actually the shepherd in disguise. Understand the law of divine timing. You have felt like you were behind in life. You see people younger than you achieving milestones while you are still standing in the wilderness. But you must realize that a skyscraper requires a much deeper foundation than a shack. The universe has spent decades digging deep into your soul, clearing out the debris of the ego and the rubble of the past. It took time because what is being built through you is meant to last for eternity, You aren't just building a career or a family. You are building a legacy of light that will ripple through the collective consciousness for 1,000 years. The truth is, you are a celestial royalty currently in a state of temporary amnesia. But the amnesia is wearing off. You are starting to remember the languages of the stars. You are starting to remember that you have authority over the elements and the energies around you. You were never ordinary because you were never intended to be normal. Normalcy is a cage for sleeping. You are awake. You are the embodiment of a divine decree that has declared, the darkness is over and the era of the chosen has begun. You are the evidence of God's power on this earth, and your life is the living proof that light cannot be contained. Now that the veil has been lifted and you see the truth of your divine origin, it is time to anchor this frequency into your physical reality. You can no longer afford to live as a victim of your circumstances. You are a conscious creator, and your activation begins with the realization that your energy is your most precious currency. Stop spending it on those who do not honor your temple. The first practical step in your activation is the sanctified silence. You must learn to stop explaining your magic to people who are committed to their own blindness. When you are challenged, when the matrix tries to pull you back into an argument or a defense, you must breathe and realize that your silence is a boundary they cannot cross. Ground yourself daily. Your high frequency needs a strong connection to the earth to remain stable. Walk barefoot on the grass, touch the trees, and remember that you are as much a part of this planet as the mountains and the seas. But while your feet are on the ground, your mind must remain in the celestial heights. You are a bridge. To keep that bridge strong, you must purge the remaining toxins from your life. This means clearing your physical space of clutter, ending conversations that drain your spirit, and feeding your body with life force energy. You are preparing your vessel for a massive influx of power, and there can be no room for stagnant shadows. I want you to close your eyes right now and feel the heat building in the center of your chest. This is your internal sun, the spark of the Creator that proves you were never ordinary. As you breathe in, imagine a golden light flowing down from the crown of your head, washing away the headaches, the fatigue, and the residue of every cruel word ever spoken to you. As you breathe out, release the weight of the world. You are not responsible for saving people who are in love with their chains. You are only responsible for being the light. Let us seal this energy with a divine decree. Repeat these words in your mind or speak them aloud to the universe. I am a chosen one of the Most High. I recognize that I was never ordinary, and I no longer seek to fit into a world that I was sent to change. I reclaim my energy from every person, place, and timeline that has sought to diminish my light. I break every generational curse and every soul tie that is not aligned with my highest calling. I am sovereign, I am protected, I am the living embodiment of divine purpose. My path is cleared, my vision is sharp, and my power is absolute. As you move forward from this moment, watch how the world begins to rearrange itself around your new frequency. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. The right people, your true soul tribe, will find you, drawn to the beacon you have become. The enemies who once haunted you will become insignificant shadows in your rearview mirror. You have been activated. You have been called. You have been sealed in the light of the truth. Go forth with the confidence of one who knows the end of the story. You have already won. The struggle was just the training for the victory. Walk with your head high, for you carry the frequency of the new earth within your very DNA. You were never ordinary, and now the world will finally see why. If this message resonated with your soul, if you felt the frequency shift in your bones, then claim your position in the comments below. Write "I am chosen" to anchor this activation into the physical realm. Subscribe to this channel to stay aligned with the higher frequencies of the chosen energy. Share this with another soul who is wandering in the dark, wondering why they don't fit in. You are the light bearers, and together we are waking up the world.